here's how it works. I will do the first 2 oh yeas, you do the third, and then we'll see who has won. Here's the first one. Oh yay! Here's the second one. Oh yay! Now you after the bell. That is pretty good. I bid you all warmly welcome to the ancient and beautiful city of Chester. Do we have any visitors here today from outside of England? Manchester's not outside of England, Huey. None? What about Scotland? That's outside of England. None? They've opened the airports. What's going on? Wales. Croeso, Ihain, Kaya, and don't forget to be out of the city before sunset. Ireland. Germany. Herzlich willkommen in unserer schönen Altenstadt. Question number 1. These 2-tiered shopping galleries date back to the Middle Ages. They are unique to Chester. By what name are they known? The Rose. Let this lady be loudly applauded as she comes forward. Where in the world could you find the world's most talented and best looking town crier? Thank you, Huey, said Chester. Be loudly applauded as you come forward, Huey. Here's the deal, Chris. The shops close at 5:30. I'm going to release Chloe at 6 o'clock. But I get 10% of what you will save in the meantime. Ladies and gentlemen, I hope you all enjoy your day in Chester. But please come back here at 6 o'clock to see Chloe being released. She won't be laughing then. May God bless you all. God save the Queen. So everything about Chester is beautiful to look at, not least, of course, our town crier. But it becomes doubly interesting when you know something of the history. And nowhere is that more true than here at the Rudy Racecourse. And the history behind the racecourse is, before we had horse races, we had the annual football match. It was a brutal thing. It was from one end of the city to the other. Every male took part, and there were broken limbs and crushed skulls at the end of it. And it came to a certain point where the mayor of Chester, Henry G, thought this cannot go on. I don't like this kind of thing happening, so much injury, it's disgraceful. But he was wise enough to know that it was not a good idea just to ban a popular event. So he needed to create a popular substitute. So he created the first horse races in Chester, and he donated a silver cup as the prize. And he did so in the year 1539. That's why the restaurant with the fabulous view of the finish of the race is called 1539. But remember, the mayor that instituted the horse races was called Henry G, and that is why the slang term for race horses is GG. So, walking along the city walls, you could easily pass this brick-built porch and think nothing of it. But let's give it some context. Late 18th century, no taxi cabs, but a lady could be carried from one side of the city to the other in a wooden chair by 2 footmen. But the problem was the streets weren't swept. They could be muddy, they could be dirty. The lady's wearing a long crinoline dress. She doesn't want to get rained on. She doesn't want to get mud on her dress or even on her shoes. So the sedan chair arrives at her place, and rather than her having to come out to get into the sedan chair, potentially get wet and muddy, the sedan chair enters the porch of the house so she can get in completely undercover. So this is Sedan House. So here we are on Northgate Street, standing outside a chemist. And if you just looked at the branding, you would think, well, it's exactly the same as any branch of this particular chemist throughout the country. But this being Chester, it does, of course, have an interesting history. Here we are at the rear of the same building, and we get some idea of this was a substantial and important building in Chester, and it's had lots of incarnations in its history. It has been a common hall, a meeting place. It's been a theatre royal. It's been a very early cinema, but perhaps most interesting of all, when it was a music hall, it was a host to none other than Charles Dickens, who came in here in 1867 to give readings from his works. And in his diary, Charles Dickens said it was a fabulous evening here in Chester.